and a chat option. So feel free to enter your questions in there, and I'll keep an eye on those, and we can answer them as we go through. And yeah, if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you're not presenting, please can you go on mute just to avoid distraction for the other hosts. So I am just going.
It's recording.
Oh, you're recording it.
Yes.
Oh,
so
thank you, Joella.
Bye-bye.
Great, thank you. Okay, so firstly, yeah, as mentioned, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. We are absolutely delighted to have recently launched the prestigious Kimberly-Clark Professional Golden Service Awards 2024. The awards were launched over 30 years ago, and they're open to all FM and contract cleaning companies in the UK and Ireland. The awards really acknowledge the excellence and the achievements of the highest standards in the industry. It's a fantastic way to demonstrate the great work that you're doing in this area. We hope the webinar today will guide you through the entry process. It will give you an understanding of the categories and what the judges are looking for. And we have Neil on the call as one of the judges. So, you know, if you have any questions or any thoughts, please feel free to ask, and Neil can answer those. We hope to give you some hints and tips along the way to make the entry process more straightforward. And for those who joined earlier, you will have heard that we have a new online entry process this year, which should be a lot easier to use. So that's good news. And yeah, so we're joined by Neil Spencer Cook from the British Institute of Cleaning Science, who are our independent judges, and also Suzanne Howe from Suzanne Howe Communications, who are the organisers. We hope you're going to find this webinar useful, and we're going to host another one in October as well. But obviously, at any point, feel free to reach out, ask questions as we go through, and there'll be an opportunity for questions at the end. So I'm going to hand over to Suzanne now.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I do hope you find this webinar useful. And as Amy has said, if you have got any questions, then we definitely want to be able to help you today. And the other thing that I want you to know is that, as Amy said, it is going to be recorded, and it will go onto the website, and there will be a link for anybody that wants to share it with their team, or indeed wants to go back over some of the points that we make today. So thank you again. And yes, Suzanne Howe Communications are the organisers. And I think it's useful. A lot of people who have entered before know that we're here to help them. Sheila is a very familiar name to many of you, and she will be helping you through the entry process. When you have to enter by, we'll give you some dates later on, but Sheila is really one of the mainstays in the sort of entry process and getting you to enter. And Debbie is also there to help you with any information that you require or help that you need, and of course myself. And we do get good marks for responding quickly, so we're always here to help is what I want to say, really. So the first thing that I want to say is that the Golden Service Awards are open to contract cleaning companies and FM companies in the UK and Ireland, as well as in-house cleaning teams. The submission is 1,000 words. It's best not to go over that. It is best to stick to 1,000 words, and actually probably not to do much less than that, because you want to get as much information over as you possibly can. There is also what we're calling this year bonus entries, which would be for your cleaning operative and also for supervisor. We would like 500 words for each of those, and they have to be attached to one of the categories that I will explain in a moment. So there are about 10 categories where it is possible to enter a cleaning operative or supervisor as well. The entry process, which is brilliant this time, is going to allow you to upload all your certificates and images as you go through, and you will be able to save your application as you go. So I think that you will find a big difference in the ease of the entry process this time. The dates for the actual awards are, the deadline is going to be Friday the 27th of October, as Amy has said, there will be another webinar on about the 11th of October, but it is best to work towards the 27th of October. I know what it's like because we help our clients with award entries as well, and sometimes you run out of time. So we will probably extend it, but I think it is probably best for you to try and work towards that deadline. And then the first, we will announce the finalists on the 4th of December, because we will go through that sort of first round of judging from about the 20th of November. So everybody will know if they're a finalist or not by the 4th of December. And you'll probably get calls right away from the judges team at BICS, because they will want to start the site visits between December this year and January next year. So that all the site visits will take place within those 2 months. And then a date for the diaries, obviously, is Thursday, the 23rd of May, 2024. And we're very delighted to say that we're actually going to go back to the London Hilton in Park Lane, which so far has been everybody's favourite venue. Thank you, Amy. So the reasons to enter, there are many, many good reasons to enter. First of all, you can showcase your best work and you get great publicity around the award, and that's up to you as well. If you're a finalist, then you can really use that within your marketing collateral and your marketing strategy. So we really we say that everybody should really do as much as they can to promote being a finalist, and of course if you're a winner, then there's even more reason to promote being a winner. It's great internally for the recognition to your cleaning teams, for them to realise how important they are in your business, and to really make them feel that they're excellent at what they're doing. We also believe that it strengthens your relationship with your clients and your stakeholders, and many companies like to bring their clients to the event in May at the Hilton. It also helps you to differentiate yourself from the competition. And we have 1 or 2 clients who always show their awards as part of their new business presentations, because I really do think it makes a difference and makes you stand out from the crowd. And of course, it helps to drive standards in the industry. Thank you. So I just want to go through the categories, because there have been some changes this year, and I just want you to be aware of those changes. Healthcare, which is going to be sponsored this year by our gold sponsor, Karcher, there is just one category. So in the past, if those people that have entered many times in the past will know, there have been 1 or 2 healthcare categories where we've had hospitals as well, but this year we've decided to add some new categories. So we have got 1 category for healthcare, but I think that's fine, nothing to worry about. The judges will be judging on cleanliness, hygiene standards, and everything else that Neil's going to mention later. But don't worry about the fact that you might have a very big hospital and somebody else might have a very small clinic. It won't matter in the scheme of things. Education, which is sponsored by one of our silver sponsors, Soap2O, that is again 1 category this year, or this time. So it will include universities, primary schools, secondary schools, and everything in between. And again, we don't want you to worry about that. It will be judged fairly, but it is just 1 category. One of the most popular, or 3 of the most popular categories, are the office areas below 10,000 square meters, between 10,000 and 30,000 square meters, and also office areas over 30,000 square meters, which is sponsored by Facilities Management Journal. These are, my top tip is, these are very busy, or I can't think of the word. A lot of people enter these categories. Popular, thank you, Amy. A lot of people enter these categories. So your entry has to be really good to make sure that you're a winner. And I know that everybody wants to enter, but yeah, they are popular. And then again, the retail categories are very popular as well, which is why we've split them. So we've got under 100,000 square meters and over 100,000 square meters. That one is sponsored by one of our media partners, Tomorrow's Cleaning. And again, I think it's important that you know that there will be many entries, And if you are a company that are wanting to enter a few shopping centres, then also consider some of the other categories that I'm going to mention later to give yourself a bigger chance of winning. So it might be that you're desperate to enter retail because you've got a shopping centre, and the same applies for an office area, but also give yourself that opportunity to enter some of the other categories too, as I just said. There's leisure and hospitality, and also manufacturing, and again they can be of any size in terms of the manufacturing one. And then those 10 that I've just mentioned, they're the ones where you can enter a cleaning operative or a supervisor. The next categories I'm going to talk to, you don't have an opportunity to do that, but they're more about your business. So the first one in this new set of categories is sustainability leadership, which is sponsored by Bunzl Cleaning and Hygiene Supplies, one of our silver sponsors. And then if we go to the next slide, we have a new category, which we're delighted to tell you about, which is social impact, which we believe is very important at the moment. And that is sponsored by Biovate Hygienics, one of our bronze sponsors. And then we've got another new category, which is Cleaning Team of the Year, which again, we believe is really important because actually these awards are all about the cleaning operatives, the supervisors and the cleaning teams. So we wanted, I think we've just gone, that's lovely, thank you. So we felt that it was really important to have this new category to sponsor the Cleaning Team of the Year. And that's actually being sponsored by another of our media partners, Cleaning Matters. Then we have inclusion and diversity, which is sponsored by the ICCA. They are a category sponsor. And of course, we've got training, which will always be judged by BICS. But BICS use a separate judge for that process, which I'm sure Neil will talk to you about. So there's no overlap with any of the categories. And then finally, we have our small business category, which is under £3 million turnover. And then the bonus categories, which some of you that have entered before will understand, just to reiterate. So Supervisor of the Year and Cleaning Operative of the Year, which is sponsored by Nationwide, one of our silver sponsors. Those two are the ones that you can add into categories 1 to 10. And all those categories are on the website. They're also in our How to Enter document, which is easily found on the Golden Service Awards website. And the How to Enter document has all the information that we're talking to you about today, but there may be other questions that you have and that you can just have a look at that How to Enter document at any time. Thank you. Right, I'm now going to hand over to Neil, who's going to give you his focus on the judging process.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I'd like to say that BICS are delighted to again be involved in the judging process for the Golden Service Awards. Excellence within the cleaning and hygiene industry, be it a large company or an individual, is in our DNA. And we're extremely proud and supportive of all who contribute to maintain a clean and safe environment. However, while we are familiar with a lot of companies involved in the industry, we don't have an in-depth knowledge of every one. So when you submit your entries, please make sure you include as much information as possible, even if you think some of it is not necessarily applicable, or even if you think we know you, assume we don't. That could be the key item that makes you stand out from the others. Every company has a unique selling point, so make sure you include that in your entry submission. Your 1,000 words must cover what makes you unique. When we come on to the awards for an individual, include what makes that individual stand out from the rest of the team. What have they done that means they went above and beyond what is expected of a cleaning supervisor or a cleaning operative in their day-to-day role? What makes them stand out? The one thing to bear in mind is that should you submit, I've put my teeth back in and I'll start again. The one thing to bear in mind is that you should only submit genuine information, because if you make the shortlist of finalists and go on to the next round, our judges will be visiting you. So when they visit, they will be looking for you to demonstrate or evidence the points in your application that have made your submission stand out from the crowd. We'll also be checking that your required paperwork is in place, so things like risk assessments and cost assessments, and that they're up to date and they're available to your staff and they are actually used. Fresh, clean paper, still warm from the photocopier, because we're coming to visit, is noticeable by our judges. So please leave what you've got there. Don't refresh it because it makes it look like you've done it specifically for the visit. Use what is currently on site and that you're using. The standards that we're judging by, so it's fair, are not judged against your site specification. They will judge the best in service delivery. And by the name of the awards, we are looking for golden service. Fantastic service no matter what, and that's what we're judging too. Our standards are the same across the board, and in terms of what Suzanne was saying about awards, each award will only be judged by one judge when it comes to the finalists. They will all have the same judge so that there is a fair playing field for everybody in that category, and there is no personal, or there can be no consideration of personal interpretation. It's all on the same basis. We aim to be, and we remain, as always, independent, and we will do as much as we can to ensure we get the best results for the Golden Service Awards.
Thank you, Neil. I think I'm going to make the point again about the deadline being the 27th of October. And this is something that I have mentioned it already, but it is really important if you can, to start working on these entries now, so that you give yourself plenty of time, because as I said, we will extend it, but everybody panics at the end, and maybe you don't give your best entry because you're panicking about trying to reach the deadline. And there is only so much of a deadline we can give, and we do try and be as fair as possible. And sometimes someone's sick or someone's on holiday, and we're asked a big favour if we can take, but there is a finite deadline of the fact that we just can't keep on taking in entries. So if everybody can work towards the 27th of October, that would be great. Thank you. Right, so the prices, we've actually kept the prices as low as we can, and we're very competitive compared to other awards. I'm astounded by the cost of some of the awards that we're helping our clients to enter at the moment. So the award entry is £130 plus VAT. And the way that it works is that you will enter through the BICS website, which is attached to the Golden Service Awards website, and we will then get notified, and then you will be sent an invoice by my colleague Annie, and we do ask for payment within 30 days. And then the event tickets can be bought from us too, and they are £250 plus VAT, which is £300 per ticket. And most people, most tables are tables of 10. You don't have to buy a full table of 10, but you do need to be aware that we might sit you with other people, and we'll try not to put you with competitive companies. Yes, if you buy individual tickets or less than table, then you will have to share. And there are also opportunities to have a table of 8, which we can put sort of on the outer edge of the room, and that might be more acceptable to you. And if you do need to, we can also do tables of 12, but we don't like to have too many of those because they are a lot bigger and they sort of cause problems for the waiters and the waitresses at the actual lunch itself. So those are the prices. It's all invoiced. There is no credit card payment, I'm afraid. But you can obviously transfer the money by bank to us, or make bank transfers, and all the payment details will be on the invoices. Thank you, Amy. And then, yes, I did mention that we're delighted to say that the event is going to be held on the 23rd of May next year, and it will be held at the London Hilton in Park Lane. It seems to be, as I said, everybody's favourite venue. we will start with the drinks reception at 12:15, and then the lunch will be followed at 1, and then the award ceremony will take place between 3 and 4, and it should all be over just around 4 o'clock, which, if those of you that want to travel back home, then that is a possibility. It's sometimes a bit difficult if it's in the evening, so we like to hold it at lunchtime, which we hope helps everybody. So those are the event details, and I think that's about all that we have for you in terms of information. But just to say, we are here to help everybody, and we react quickly, and we will respond to you if you have any questions at all. As I said, Sheila, Debbie, and myself, Annie can help you with financial information on the invoicing. So we try and make it as easy as possible for everybody to enter. So please do ask questions if you need to. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Suzanne. Thanks, Neil. I have taken everyone. You are able to speak, so if you wanted to come off mute and ask a question, you're more than welcome. I've just had a look in the chat and the questions. We haven't got any questions at the moment. But as mentioned, feel free to take yourself off mute and ask.
And we're here, if you don't want to ask today, that's fine, because we will be here for you to ask any questions, and also email them. And people do have questions. And I think the other thing is you can enter as many categories or have as many entries as you like. Obviously, there are companies, some companies that enter more than others, but you're very welcome to enter different categories. And I think where I've pointed out the popular categories, it's always a good idea to enter one of the ones that comes between 11 and 16, because they will give you another opportunity. So don't feel that, oh, you can only only enter a shopping centre. I think it is. I think my advice to you is to open it up to the other categories as well.
Suzanne, I think Jill's got a question.
Okay.
Hopefully you can speak, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Well, I think Jill's off mute, but there's a question in the question box. Oh, from Alan. How do we get a copy of this presentation?
I can.
We can email it. We can email it to all the attendees.
If you can put your email on the chat, Alan, then I can email it to you. And I suppose it will also be on the link when we put that onto the website.
Yep.
But yes, do send me your...
Hi, Suzanne and Amy. Sorry.
Got you.
Thank you very much for the details. Very helpful. I just had a question with regards to the prices at the last slide. The £250 per event entry, or the event invitation.
Yes.
So is that if we wanted a table of 10, so that's 250 times 10?
Yes.
So is it individual? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But you can buy as many as you like. If you wanted to buy 1, that's fine. 2 is fine. A table of 10, there's no discount for a table of 10.
Okay.
But I just wanted you to know that the tables are mainly 10s. There are 8s and there are 12s.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
And Suzanne, what's included in that price? There's a welcome drink, isn't there? A 3-course meal.
Yes, I mean it's a fantastic
coffee
meal. Yeah, so you get, so we have sparkling wine at the beginning in the drinks reception. Then there's half a bottle of wine each on the table. There's 3-course meal and petit fours. So yes, and water, bread rolls, I think. But yes, and it's a very nice meal. It's of a high standard, I would say, at the Hilton.
And we will have a celebrity host as well. So bring your mobile phones to take some selfies.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Jill, is there information for the categories 11 to 16 of what you are looking for, especially 11 to 14?
Yes.
So is there anything? So yeah.
Sorry, Amy.
No, go ahead.
In the how to enter document, which is very easy to find on the website, it's quite general, but there is a paragraph under each category about what we're looking for. And if you have any questions, then do ask me if that's not clear enough when you read the how to enter document.
Great. Any more questions from anyone? Any questions for Neil? Jill says thanks.
Pleasure.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining. And as Suzanne's mentioned, you know, please reach out if you have any questions at any point. You know, I've entered awards before and I know how intense it can feel. And you know, we are here to support you. And yeah, good luck with your entries.
Yes, good luck.
Yeah.
Thank
Great.
you very much, everybody.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.